In the year 55 CE, a young emperor named Nero ascended to the throne of the mighty Roman Empire, his power and authority already formidable. This was no ordinary ruler. He was still in his teens, and the future of Rome's vast dominion rested on his shoulders. This new emperor faced a complex political landscape. The empire's stability depended not only on Nero's decisions, but also on how he navigated the intricate web of Rome's elite. To guide him through these treacherous waters, Nero turned to a trusted advisor, Lucius Annaeus Seneca. Seneca, born in Corduba, Spain, was no stranger to politics and philosophy. His own life had been marked by exile and return, giving him a unique perspective on power and its responsibilities. In his treatise, De Clementia, Seneca offered sage advice to Nero on the virtue of mercy as a crucial quality for a ruler. This essay, known in English as On Mercy, is not just a historical artifact, but also a timeless guidebook on virtuous leadership. It emphasizes that true power does not come from brutality or fear, but from compassion and wisdom. Seneca advised Nero that his supreme authority was contingent upon upholding these obligations. De Clementia is incomplete, consisting of only 2 volumes. Despite this, it offers profound insights into the delicate balance between mercy and justice. The treatise depicts Nero's supreme authority as conditional on his capacity to rule with wisdom and justice, a message that resonates even today. The political relations between Nero's regime and Rome's elite are brought into sharp focus through Seneca's lens. He advised the young emperor on how to navigate these complex dynamics with clemency and moderation, emphasizing the importance of maintaining harmony within the empire. A significant body of scholarship examines De Clementia, particularly its content and advice to Emperor Nero. The essay provides a genuine account of political relations between Nero's regime and Rome's elite, making it an invaluable resource for understanding this critical period in history. Seneca's Stoic philosophy permeates De Clementia, guiding Nero towards a just and humane rule. The advisor employs 3 distinct personas throughout the treatise: an advisor to Nero, a brilliant rhetorician, and a Stoic philosopher. The essay reflects back an image of Nero as one who will be among the happiest of men, using this mirror to encourage virtuous behavior. This reflection is not merely flattering, it serves as a powerful tool for self-examination and growth. Other reflections are found within De Clementia, offering multiple perspectives on leadership and power. Seneca's claim that the image reflected back in his treatise is of Nero as someone who will be among the happiest of men highlights the transformative potential of virtuous rulership. Before his death in 65 AD, Seneca sought to retire from court, only to have his requests rejected by Nero. His untimely demise came amidst political turmoil, underscoring the challenges faced by those who dared to advise emperors with wisdom and candor. The lessons of mercy and virtuous rulership, as outlined in Seneca's De Clementia, remain relevant today. They serve as a reminder that true power is not wielded through force, but cultivated through compassion and insight. Before we begin, a small request. Most of the people listening tonight aren't subscribed. If this channel has ever helped you drift off, take a moment to subscribe. It's free. It helps this channel more than you'd think, and you can always change your mind later. And if you feel like it, leave a comment telling me where in the world you're listening from and what time it is where you are. I love reading them. One more thing before we begin. I'm also a co-founder of the Sleep app, built to be the most affordable one out there. No ads, ever. Just sounds and stories made to help you sleep. It may not be released yet as this video goes up, but if you're watching a little later, it might be out by now. Just search for it. It should be easy to find. It works on iPhone, Android, and everything in between. Downloading it is the best way to support this channel. In ancient Rome, rulers were often seen as divine figures, wielding absolute power with impunity. Seneca challenged this notion, proposing that a ruler's true strength lay not in their might, but in their capacity to show clemency. To illustrate his point, imagine a vast and complex machinery, the Roman Empire. Its efficiency and resilience depend not on its sheer size or military might, but on the wisdom of those who guide it. Mercy, for Seneca, was the oil that kept this machinery running smoothly. It ensured that justice prevailed not just in its application, but also in its tempering with wisdom. He likens this to a skilled gardener who knows when to prune and when to allow growth, thereby nurturing a flourishing garden rather than stifling it. This wisdom, Seneca argues, is not merely an intellectual virtue, but a practical necessity for any leader who wishes to maintain stability and peace within their realm. As we delve deeper into Seneca's principles, we discover that his insights on mercy are not just moral guidelines, but timeless truths that echo through the ages. The year is AD 55-56. In the heart of ancient Rome, a significant text known as De Clementia takes shape. This treatise, penned by Lucius Annaeus Seneca, would soon advise one of history's most infamous rulers, Emperor Nero. De Clementia, which translates as On Mercy, is not merely a moral guide but a practical handbook for navigating power with compassion. The historical context of this period sets the stage for Seneca's advice. Nero, at a young age, was already faced with immense authority and the weighty responsibilities of ruling an empire. The publication date of De Clementia is estimated around AD 50-56, placing it early in Nero's reign. This timing underscores the urgency and relevance of Seneca's counsel. Seneca writes with an understanding that a ruler's greatness is not measured by power alone, but by the mercy and wisdom he exhibits. As we delve into the principles of De Clementia, we begin to see how Seneca's insights on mercy and virtuous rulership can impact not just a single reign, but shape the course of an empire. In the ancient world of Rome, power was a double-edged sword, quite literally. The rhetorical figure correctio is employed in Seneca's De Clementia, underscoring this duality. Seneca emphasizes that mercy is not an act of weakness or fear, but a deliberate and rational choice. In De Clementia, Nero himself expresses this philosophy when he states that he did not merely conceal his sword, but rather sheathed it. This metaphorical sheathing indicates a proactive decision to contain power rather than wield it indiscriminately. For Seneca, the ability to exercise mercy is not a sign of vulnerability, but a testament to a ruler's strength and foresight. In the context of ancient Rome, where brute force was often the first resort, Nero's adherence to this principle set him apart as a thoughtful and prudent leader. This nuanced understanding of mercy, when applied in governance, fosters a climate of trust and stability within the empire. It demonstrates that a ruler's might is not only in their ability to impose punishment, but also in their wisdom to withhold it. The deliberate and strategic use of mercy becomes a cornerstone for building a legacy that endures beyond temporary power struggles. In the annals of ancient Rome, Emperor Nero stands as one of the most infamous figures in history. His reign, marked by extravagance and excess, has often overshadowed a lesser-known period of relative stability during his early years. This stability can be traced back to the counsel of the renowned philosopher Seneca, who authored De Clementia to advise Nero on ruling with mercy and wisdom. During this period, Rome witnessed relatively stable governance, a stark contrast to the later chaos often associated with Nero's rule. Seneca's treatise, De Clementia, offers a window into the political climate of Rome during this time. The essay underscores that true power lies not in brutality, but in the ability to show clemency. The advice given by Seneca had an immediate impact on Nero's rule, shaping his actions and policies during this initial phase of his reign. Seneca's teachings on mercy emphasize that it is a sign of strength, not weakness. This philosophy guided Nero's early decisions, contributing to the relatively peaceful environment in Rome. While the subsequent years of Nero's reign were marred by notorious events, The early stability reflects the influence of Seneca's wisdom. Ultimately, De Clementia served as a blueprint for Nero to navigate his early years on the throne with wisdom and justice. In the year 59 AD, a dramatic shift occurred within the halls of power in Rome. Agrippina, Nero's mother and former empress, was brutally murdered. This violent act sent shockwaves through the empire, casting a long shadow over its political landscape. Seneca, who had been advising Nero on matters of state and governance, found himself in a precarious position. He had long advocated for mercy and wisdom in rulership, as outlined in his treatise De Clementia. However, the murder of Agrippina challenged Seneca's teachings. Nero, whose rule had once been guided by principles of clemency and moderation, now appeared to be descending into tyranny. Seneca accepted this turn of events with reluctance. He understood that his advocacy for a virtuous ruler had not been fully embraced by Nero. The young emperor's actions belied the ideal leader Seneca had envisioned. Despite his reservations, Seneca was forced to justify Agrippina's murder. This act highlighted the complex political dynamics at play within the Roman court. Yet, Seneca remained steadfast in his belief that a just ruler could navigate the treacherous waters of power with wisdom and justice. Even as the political climate grew more volatile, he held on to the hope that Nero might still steer towards a more merciful course. In this moment of crisis, Seneca's teachings on clemency and moderation resonated with newfound urgency. The fate of the empire hinged not only on Nero's actions, but also on his ability to embrace the virtues Seneca had so carefully laid out. Ultimately, the fate of Rome and its people hung in a delicate balance, shaped by the choices Nero would make in the aftermath of his mother's murder. In a cruel twist of fate, Nero ordered Seneca to commit suicide. Despite his efforts to distance himself from court politics, Seneca was entangled in the web of Nero's paranoia and faced an unjust end. His final years underscored the delicate balance of power in ancient Rome, where the fate of advisors hung on the whims of an unstable emperor. With Seneca's passing, a vital voice for reason and virtue was silenced, leaving Rome to navigate the tumultuous years ahead without his guidance. The treatise De Clementia holds significant historical importance as a reflection of the political and moral ideals of the early Roman Empire. Written by Lucius Annaeus Seneca, also known as Seneca the Younger, this essay is a unique window into the mindset of a young emperor and his advisors during a time of transition and growth. As a hortatory work directed towards Emperor Nero, De Clementia offers practical advice on ruling with clemency and moderation. Seneca employs three distinct personas within this treatise: an advisor to Nero, a brilliant rhetorician, and a Stoic philosopher. Within these pages, Seneca emphasizes mercy as an essential quality for a ruler, presenting it not as a sign of weakness, but as a deliberate act of wisdom and justice. His use of the rhetorical figure correctio underscores this point, putting into Nero's mouth the protestation that he concealed, no rather sheathed his sword. The historical context surrounding De Clementia is rich with political intrigue and personal drama. Seneca, who had previously been exiled to Corsica by Emperor Claudius, was brought back to Rome in 49 CE by Agrippina, Julia Livilla's sister and Claudius's new wife. Seneca became a tutor to Nero, advising him on the virtue of mercy. Their relationship, however, soured over time. After Nero murdered his mother Agrippina in 59 CE, Seneca was forced to justify her death. Ultimately, in 65 CE, Nero ordered Seneca to commit suicide. Despite its incompleteness, consisting of only 2 volumes, De Clementia remains a vital text for scholars examining the political relations between Nero's regime and Rome's elite. Published by Jean Leproux in 1594, it has been translated into multiple languages, including English. The lessons within De Clementia continue to resonate today. They remind us of the enduring importance of mercy and virtuous rulership, qualities that are timelessly relevant. Reflecting on this treatise offers insights into not only ancient Rome, but also our own contemporary world. As we consider the lasting impact and wisdom of Seneca's advice to Nero, we are drawn to ponder how the principles outlined in De Clementia might guide us in navigating the complexities of power and compassion in our modern age. In the quiet of his chambers, Seneca turns to the emperor. "Nero," he begins, "your role is not merely to govern, but to elevate. Rule, as you know it, is a God-given task, a task of moral improvement." Imagine the young Nero seated across from Seneca, eyes wide with curiosity. "The emperor is not a figure of mere power," Seneca continues. "He is a beacon of virtue, illuminating the path for his subjects." In De Clementia, Seneca argues that rule is a God-given task of moral improvement, recalls the historian. It is through the emperor's actions that the subjects can be guided towards virtue. Think of it this way, Seneca explains to Nero. The emperor is like a gardener, tending to the growth of his people. With each decision, each act, he shapes their character and guides them towards the light of virtue. Seneca's words echo through the centuries. But what kind of garden does Nero envision? A scholar wonders aloud, delving into Seneca's vision for virtuous leadership. And so, in his treatise De Clementia, Seneca lays out a blueprint for virtuous leadership that echoes through the ages. A leader who guides with wisdom and compassion, the historian concludes, is one who leaves a lasting legacy of virtue. Research by scholars such as Jonathan Granirer of the University of Victoria has delved into Seneca's depiction of Nero's power in De Clementia. They reveal how Seneca crafted his advice to emphasize the interconnected themes of power and compassion. As we delve deeper into De Clementia, it becomes clear that the essay is more than just advice. It is a profound reflection of the moral and political ideals of early Rome. In today's world, leaders who govern with mercy and foresight are seen as those who build more enduring legacies of peace and prosperity. In our pursuit of effective leadership today, we can find valuable insights in this ancient text that continue to echo through the halls of power. Seneca's core Stoic beliefs advocated for living in accordance with nature and accepting fate. His Letters from a Stoics, written to a young friend, embodies this philosophy. In one of these letters, he reflects on the necessity of patience. Patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. This concept underscores the idea that true wisdom and virtue require endurance and resilience. This active engagement with goodness extends to his views on leadership. Seneca believed that rulers hold their power as a trust, with obligations to those they govern. In Letters from a Stoics, he writes about the importance of just and humane rule. The good leader is one who leads others to become better. This principle resonates throughout De Clementia. Thus, Seneca's Stoic philosophy guides De Clementia, emphasizing the importance of mercy and virtuous rulership. His teachings advocate for a life lived in harmony with nature, acceptance of fate, and active pursuit of goodness. These principles are not merely abstract ideals, but practical guidelines that resonate powerfully even today. So when we read De Clementia, we're not merely encountering a historical document, but engaging with timeless wisdom that continues to shape our understanding of effective leadership and the virtues that underpin it. Ancient Roman law distinguished between clemency and pardon, emphasizing that mercy should be exercised with discretion and wisdom. This philosophy was exemplified by leaders like Julius Caesar, who showed leniency towards conquered enemies. The cultural significance of mercy extended beyond legal matters. In times of crisis or conflict, a ruler's ability to show compassion was seen as a key attribute of good leadership. Seneca's De Clementia, written for the young Emperor Nero, reflects this deep-rooted Roman value. In this historical context, De Clementia takes on an added significance. Consider the reign of Augustus, Rome's first emperor. Despite his immense authority, he knew that mercy could be used to quell unrest and consolidate his rule. When rebellions flared up in Gaul and Spain, instead of meting out harsh punishments, Augustus offered pardons to the rebels. This strategy worked. It won him loyalty and helped stabilize his reign during a critical time of transition from republic to empire. Fast forward to Nero's reign. Seneca, in his treatise De Clementia, emphasizes the distinction between mercy and weakness. Mercy, according to Seneca, should be deliberate and rational, a strategy that benefits both ruler and ruled. Seneca advised Nero to use clemency, not as a sign of weakness, but as a calculated move to foster loyalty and maintain stability. For the first 5 years of Nero's rule, this strategy seemed effective. The regime experienced relative stability, a stark contrast to the tumultuous periods that followed. Seneca's treatise, De Clementia, serves as a reminder that rulers must be wise and just to effectively use mercy as a strategic political tool. The lessons of mercy and virtuous rulership, as outlined in Seneca's De Clementia, have echoed through history, resonating with influential figures across centuries. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and philosopher, was deeply influenced by Seneca's writings. He often quoted from Seneca's works in his own philosophical meditations. Aurelius emphasized the importance of mercy and wisdom in leadership, echoing Seneca's teachings. Thomas More, the English statesman and author of Utopia, also drew from Seneca's work. More's portrayal of an ideal society in his book reflects the principles of mercy and just rulership advocated by Seneca. In modern times, the influence of Seneca's ideas can be seen in contemporary applications of mercy and rulership. Political theorists today often cite Seneca's arguments to emphasize the importance of mercy in governance. The principles laid out in De Clementia are still relevant to current political thought and practices. The legacy of Seneca's De Clementia continues to shape our understanding of virtuous rulership and the strategic use of mercy. This enduring influence underscores the timeless relevance of his teachings in modern society. Seneca posits that the ruler who possesses mercy demonstrates a profound understanding of their duties and responsibilities. They recognize that their power is not absolute, but should be used to benefit the people. By embracing mercy, a ruler not only avoids cruelty and tyranny, but also elevates their rule to a higher moral plane, benefiting both the people and the state. Consider ancient Rome under the rule of Emperor Augustus. His reign is often hailed as a golden age, marked by stability and prosperity. Augustus was known for his adherence to principles of mercy and restraint in governing, echoing Seneca's advice. His actions were guided by a wisdom that recognized the power of compassionate rule. Modern political thought often draws parallels with this historical wisdom. In contemporary politics, leaders like Nelson Mandela have exemplified these principles. Mandela's leadership in post-apartheid South Africa emphasized forgiveness and reconciliation over vengeance. This approach aligned with Seneca's counsel on the virtues of mercy in governance. In practice, Mandela's policies fostered unity and stability within a divided nation. Similarly, the Scandinavian model of governance reflects Seneca's principles. The emphasis on social welfare, equality, and justice mirrors Seneca's vision of a just ruler. They show how the practical application of Seneca's teachings can elevate governance to a higher moral plane. The enduring influence of Seneca's De Clementia extends beyond the realm of philosophy, deeply affecting the legal systems of ancient Rome and shaping modern jurisprudence. For instance, the Lex Julia de Adulterius, a law enacted during Augustus's reign, introduced a degree of leniency in punishments for adultery. This shift towards mercy was a practical application of Seneca's philosophy, emphasizing the ruler's role in maintaining societal harmony through fairness rather than harsh retribution. Moreover, Roman legal principles such as the ius clementiae, or right to pardon, owe their foundation to Seneca's ideas. This principle allowed emperors to exercise mercy in judicial decisions, recognizing that absolute power should be tempered with compassion. In the modern era, Seneca's influence is still evident. The concept of clemency in legal systems around the world bears his imprint. For example, the U.S. Constitution grants the president the power to grant pardons and reprieves, a direct echo of De Clementia's teachings on mercy in governance. Beyond individual laws, Seneca's broader philosophy has shaped the legal landscape by emphasizing the importance of rehabilitation over pure punishment. This perspective has led to more progressive approaches in criminal justice systems globally, highlighting the potential for redemption and reintegration into society. Seneca's De Clementia thus serves as a seminal text not only in philosophy but also in law, demonstrating the profound impact that wisdom and virtue can have on governance and legal frameworks across centuries. In conclusion, De Clementia has left an enduring legacy in both ancient Roman and contemporary legal systems, underscoring the fundamental role that mercy plays in maintaining a just and harmonious society. Perhaps most significantly, Seneca's treatise continues to challenge contemporary rulers and legal thinkers to consider the human dimension in their quest for justice, fostering a more compassionate and balanced approach to governance. By illustrating how ancient wisdom can inform modern legal frameworks, De Clementia demonstrates the lasting impact of philosophical thought on practical governance and jurisprudence. And as we ponder these insights, let us be reminded that the pursuit of justice is not merely about enforcing rules, but also about understanding and cultivating the best in humanity. For in the end, it is our capacity for mercy and wisdom that defines not only our legal systems, but also our shared humanity. Some argue that De Clementia is a masterclass in flattery, written to appease the young and impulsive Nero. They point out Seneca's use of rhetorical devices such as correctio to place words of restraint into Nero's mouth. Others view the treatise as a subtle critique, a mirror held up to reflect Nero's potential for both greatness and tyranny. The historical context adds another layer to this debate. In the early years of his reign, Nero was guided by Seneca and Burrus, resulting in a period of relative stability. However, as Nero's rule became more absolute and capricious, the dynamic between advisor and emperor shifted dramatically. Seneca's later works, written after Burrus's death, exhibit a growing disillusionment with Nero's actions and an increasing emphasis on the philosopher's retreat into Stoicism. This shift in tone has led some scholars to interpret De Clementia as a cautionary tale, intended not just for Nero, but also for future rulers who might find wisdom in Seneca's counsel. They argue that Seneca's use of multiple personas, advisor, rhetorician, and philosopher, is a deliberate strategy to communicate complex ideas about power and morality in a way that could be both understood and overlooked by Nero. The philosophical foundations of mercy within Stoicism can be traced back to Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism. Zeno believed that wisdom is achieved through understanding and living in accordance with nature and its logical principles. This principle, known as logos, forms the basis for many Stoic teachings, including those on mercy. Seneca, in his treatise De Clementia, advises Nero that true strength and power lie not in harsh punishment, but in the rational exercise of mercy. Epictetus, another prominent Stoic philosopher, echoed this sentiment, stating that it is not the actions of others that disturb us, but our interpretation of those actions. Seneca's advice to Nero underscores the importance of mercy in maintaining a just and humane rule, aligning with the Stoic principle of living in accordance with nature. By exercising mercy, Nero could demonstrate not only his power, but also his wisdom and rationality, qualities that Stoics held in the highest regard. This deep philosophical understanding of mercy highlights why it is integral to virtuous rulership as per Seneca's Stoicism. In the heart of ancient Rome, the laws that governed its citizens reflected a deep understanding of mercy. This virtue, so central to Seneca's teachings in De Clementia, was woven into the very fabric of Roman justice. Consider the Lex Valeria de Provocatione, a law that granted immunity to anyone who sought refuge within Rome's sacred boundaries. This ancient decree provided sanctuary for those facing peril. Under this law, any person fleeing danger could find safety within the city's temples and shrines, protected from their pursuers. The principle of mercy, embedded in Roman law, served as a balancing force against the stern hand of justice. The Lex Valeria de Provocation embodies this wisdom, illustrating how Rome's legal framework sought to temper justice with compassion. In an age where might often ruled, the laws of Rome provided a sanctuary for the vulnerable. This deep understanding of mercy within Roman law echoes the profound insights of Seneca's De Clementia, demonstrating the enduring relevance of these ancient philosophical ideals. As we delve deeper into the wisdom of De Clementia, it's essential to understand how the concept of mercy was viewed in ancient Greek thought, where philosophers like Plato and Aristotle laid down foundational ideas that would influence later thinkers. The views on mercy from these great minds offer a comparative context that underscores the unique contributions of Seneca's Stoicism. Aristotle, in his Nicomachean Ethics, delves deeper into the nuances of mercy. He distinguishes between pity and mercy, arguing that, while pity is an emotional response to someone's suffering, true mercy involves a rational and deliberate act of kindness. According to Aristotle, mercy is not just about feeling sorry for someone, but also about taking action to alleviate their suffering. This act of kindness should be guided by wisdom and understanding. Both Plato and Aristotle emphasize the importance of mercy as a virtue that helps maintain social order and promotes the well-being of all members of society. Seneca sees mercy not just as an act of kindness, but as a manifestation of wise governance. He advises Nero that true power lies in the ability to exercise clemency with deliberation and rationality. This deeper understanding of mercy within Roman thought echoes the profound insights from ancient Greek philosophy, while adding a unique Stoic perspective on the virtues of a ruler. By comparing these philosophical traditions, we can appreciate how Seneca's De Clementia contributes to the enduring dialogue on mercy and virtuous rulership. After Nero's reign, several Roman emperors demonstrated a keen interest in the principles laid out by Seneca. One notable example is Marcus Aurelius, who reigned from 61 to 80 CE. He was known for his commitment to Stoic philosophy and his desire to rule with wisdom and justice. Marcus Aurelius's actions reflected the ideas presented in De Clementia. He implemented policies that showed mercy towards those under his rule, particularly during times of crisis. For instance, when plague struck Rome during his reign, Marcus Aurelius ordered measures to care for the sick and vulnerable, demonstrating a practical application of Seneca's teachings on compassionate rulership. The influence of De Clementia can also be seen in the administrative changes made by later emperors. Trajan, who ruled from 98 to 117 CE, is another example. He oversaw significant legal reforms that aimed at ensuring fairness and mercy within the Roman judicial system. Trajan's legal changes sought to reduce the power of magistrates, who often wielded their authority with cruelty and tyranny. This move reflected Seneca's emphasis on tempering the harshness of absolute rule with a more compassionate approach. The principles from De Clementia echoed through the centuries, shaping the mindset and policies of Roman emperors long after Seneca's time. These changes highlight the enduring relevance of Seneca's essay, demonstrating its practical impact on subsequent Roman leadership. Seneca's early life was filled with opportunities to learn from some of the most esteemed Stoic philosophers of his time. Among them was Sotion, under whose tutelage Seneca began to explore the principles of Stoicism. Seneca's education continued during his time in Egypt, where he was exposed to the teachings of Attalus. Attilus's influence on Seneca was profound, instilling in him a deep appreciation for the wisdom of Stoic philosophy. Another significant teacher in Seneca's life was Papirius Fabianus. Fabianus further refined Seneca's understanding of Stoicism, guiding him towards the principles of mercy and virtuous rulership. These formative experiences in Seneca's early life laid the groundwork for his philosophical views on mercy and just rulership. As a result, Seneca's essay De Clementia would become a cornerstone in advising Emperor Nero on the virtues of mercy and wisdom. Seneca's personal journey through learning from great Stoic philosophers underscores the importance of wisdom and justice in his vision of a just ruler. This philosophy would have lasting effects on the mindset and policies of Roman emperors long after Seneca's time. Before delving into Seneca's treatise De Clementia, it's essential to understand the historical precedents that influenced his ideas on mercy and virtuous rulership. Two significant philosophies that shaped Seneca's thought were Socratic philosophy and Cynicism. Socrates, known for his method of questioning beliefs, placed great emphasis on self-control and wisdom as cornerstones of virtue. Cynicism, a school of thought founded by Antisthenes, focused on simplicity, humility, and the rejection of luxuries. These philosophies highlighted the importance of kindness and self-control in personal conduct, principles that Seneca saw as crucial for rulers. This advice was not merely philosophical, it drew from a rich history of thought that emphasized the importance of virtuous rulership. By understanding these historical precedents, we can see how Seneca's views on mercy were part of a larger tradition of ethical thought. These philosophies provided the foundation for Seneca to advocate that a ruler's power is best wielded with mercy and compassion. Ultimately, these historical precedents underscore the lineage of Seneca's ideas on mercy, highlighting their profound impact on Roman thought and governance. One such excerpt highlights Seneca's view on forgiveness. Forgiveness is the best form of self-defense. This statement emphasizes that holding on to grudges only harms oneself, underscoring the importance of letting go of past wrongdoings. Seneca also stresses the value of patience in his correspondence. Patience is a virtue that not only benefits others, but also strengthens oneself. This underscores how exercising patience can lead to personal growth and resilience. Another critical theme in Seneca's letters is compassion. He writes, "Compassion makes us more human, and humanity is the ultimate goal of any philosophical pursuit." This statement underscores that empathy is not just a nicety, but a core element of living a virtuous life. Seneca's personal correspondence with Lucilius offers practical applications of Stoic principles, making his philosophy accessible and applicable to everyday life. By incorporating these lessons into our daily lives, we can cultivate a deeper sense of mercy, patience, and compassion, ultimately leading to a more fulfilling existence. His insights on patience teach us that hastiness only breeds regret, while taking time to respond thoughtfully brings clarity and calm. Finally, his emphasis on compassion highlights that our humanity is defined by our ability to empathize with others, making us more understanding and kinder beings. In the end, Seneca's teachings on mercy not only guide rulers, but also provide a blueprint for anyone seeking to live a virtuous and fulfilling life. Ultimately, Seneca's letters to Lucilius offer timeless wisdom that transcends the boundaries of time and place, reminding us that true greatness lies in our ability to forgive, exercise patience, and empathize with others. Among these dynasties, the Julio-Claudian family, which included emperors like Augustus and Nero himself, demonstrated a keen interest in Seneca's teachings. For instance, Caligula, despite his notorious reputation, occasionally exhibited mercy when dealing with political dissidents and rivals, a practice that can be traced back to Seneca's counsel on the distinction between mercy and weakness. Moving forward, the Flavian dynasty, marked by emperors such as Vespasian and Titus, also adopted Seneca's philosophies. Vespasian, known for his pragmatic approach to governance, often showed leniency towards former adversaries and rebels after conflicts were resolved. This practice underscored Seneca's emphasis on mercy as a deliberate act of wisdom rather than a sign of weakness. Under Titus, the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 CE saw initial harsh measures being softened as time passed. Titus's eventual leniency toward surviving rebels reflected Seneca's advice that rulers should display mercy even after demonstrations of power. The Antonine dynasty, renowned for its stable rule under emperors like Marcus Aurelius, further embodied the principles from De Clementia. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher himself, implemented policies of clemency and forgiveness in his governance. His writing echoes Seneca's belief that mercy is not merely an act of compassion, but also a manifestation of just rulership. Across these dynasties, the teachings from De Clementia have been put into practice, showing that Seneca's wisdom transcends time and political context. Seneca, also known as Seneca the Younger, was deeply influenced by Stoicism. This philosophy emphasizes virtues such as wisdom, justice, and courage. The central tenet of Stoicism is the belief that one should live in accordance with nature, or logos. This principle resonates throughout De Clementia, guiding Nero towards a rule marked by wisdom and justice. Beyond Stoicism, Hellenistic philosophy played a significant role in shaping Seneca's thoughts on rulership. The concept of the philosopher king, popularized by Plato, underscores the importance of wisdom and virtue in governance. Roman political thought also exerted a profound influence on Seneca's essay. The idea of clemency, or clementia, was viewed as an essential quality for Roman emperors to maintain stability and order. Seneca's synthesis of these philosophical traditions creates a compelling blueprint for virtuous rulership, making De Clementia an enduring testament to the power of wisdom and justice in governance. As we explore these philosophical foundations, we gain a deeper appreciation for the intellectual underpinnings that make De Clementia so influential and enduring. The wisdom within Seneca's treatise transcends time and context, offering invaluable guidance for rulers seeking to govern with mercy and virtue. This understanding of the philosophical influences behind De Clementia allows us to appreciate the treatise as more than just a historical artifact, but as a living testament to enduring principles of virtuous leadership. Seneca, a Roman Stoic philosopher, believed that emotions are not intrinsically good or bad, but rather depend on how they are expressed and controlled. Stoicism posits that emotions should be acknowledged, but not acted upon impulsively. Rather, they should guide rational decisions. Seneca argued that a ruler's ability to exhibit mercy is a sign of strength, not weakness, as it requires careful deliberation. He wrote that true virtue lies in the ability to balance emotions with reason, creating a harmonious and just society. This balance of compassion and reason is what makes a ruler virtuous and respected by their subjects. Seneca's philosophy underscores that emotions are natural but must be harnessed by reason to prevent destructive impulses. By blending compassion and reason, Seneca's vision of rulership balances the emotional with the rational, creating a framework for just and humane governance. Imagine the grand halls of Rome, circa 56 CE. The air is thick with whispers of power and influence. In this world of intrigue and ambition, a young emperor named Nero takes the throne. This essay is not just a philosophical exploration, it's a blueprint for ruling with wisdom and justice. This approach has real-world applications. One notable example is the reduction in public executions. While Rome's reputation for brutal spectacles persists, Nero's rule sees a shift towards more measured responses to crimes. His philosophy encourages a more lenient approach to governance, leading to policies that foster stability and loyalty. The practical effects of De Clementia are profound, reshaping not just the emperor's decisions, but the very fabric of imperial rule. And though Nero's reign will take dark turns, the principles of De Clementia continue to echo through the corridors of power. So, amidst the grandeur of Rome's halls, a subtle yet powerful shift is underway, guided by the wisdom of Seneca's words. This is the Legacy of De Clementia, not just a philosophical treatise, but a living, breathing influence on Roman imperial policy. Seneca contends that mercy, when applied with discernment, is a reflection of the ruler's deep understanding and adherence to principles of justice. This nuanced view sets mercy apart from mere weakness or fear-driven concessions. Within the broader framework of Roman virtue, Seneca positions mercy alongside courage and temperance. He posits that a ruler displaying mercy must also exhibit the fortitude to confront challenges and the self-control to maintain balance in governance. This interplay between virtues is exemplified by Seneca's advice to Emperor Nero. Mercy should be wielded with deliberate wisdom, courageous conviction, and temperate balance. These qualities collectively embody the ideal of a just and effective ruler. Seneca's De Clementia underscores that mercy is not an isolated virtue, but an integral part of a larger moral philosophy. It highlights the importance of rulers acting with prudence, strength, and restraint, all while demonstrating compassion. In De Clementia, Seneca advocates for rulers to display mercy with the same deliberate rationality they apply to other aspects of governance. This stance elevates mercy from a mere act of leniency to a strategic tool of effective leadership. Seneca's perspective on mercy reveals a sophisticated understanding of leadership. It reminds us that true power is not expressed through harshness, but rather through the ability to show compassion with wisdom and courage. This interwoven tapestry of virtues, as illustrated by De Clementia, offers a profound insight into the Roman ideals of governance and morality. It serves as a lasting influence on our understanding of virtue and its practical application in leadership. In the final pages, Seneca exhorts Nero to embody these virtues as a means of achieving not just political stability, but also personal fulfillment and happiness. This holistic approach to leadership sets a high standard for rulers throughout history. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, emphasized the importance of living in accordance with nature or logos, the divine reason that governs the universe. Clemency, who succeeded Zeno as the head of the Stoic school, further developed this idea by teaching that humans should cultivate a sense of pity or sympathy towards others, which is essential for living in harmony with one another. He advocated that a ruler should embody wisdom and justice, qualities inherently connected to understanding and respecting the natural order of things. This perspective on rulership, grounded in ancient philosophical wisdom, underscores the importance of mercy as a virtue that transcends mere power, offering instead a path to true greatness and personal fulfillment. Trajan, who ascended to the throne in 98 CE, is one notable example. He was deeply influenced by Stoic philosophy and Seneca's writings. Trajan is remembered for his benevolent rule, marked by a commitment to public welfare projects such as the construction of aqueducts and bathhouses. These initiatives were not merely acts of charity, but deliberate efforts to improve the lives of his subjects, reflecting Seneca's belief in the moral obligation of rulers. Hadrian, who succeeded Trajan, continued this tradition of enlightened governance. His reign saw the construction of the Pantheon and various other architectural marvels that benefited the Roman people. These projects were not merely symbolic gestures, but practical improvements that enhanced daily life for ordinary Romans. Marcus Aurelius, who ruled from 161 to 180 CE, was another emperor who embodied the principles of De Clementia. Known as the Philosopher King, Marcus Aurelius was a devoted Stoic who wrote his own philosophical treatise, Meditations. His rule was characterized by an unyielding commitment to justice and mercy, reflecting Seneca's teachings. Through the actions of Trajan, Hadrian, and Marcus Aurelius, we see the lasting impact of Seneca's De Clementia. These emperors' actions demonstrate how Seneca's ideas about virtuous rulership transcended his time to shape the Roman imperial dynasties. Thus, De Clementia not only guided Nero, but also left an enduring legacy on the governance of Rome's future leaders. Long before Seneca penned his treatise De Clementia, other philosophers had contemplated the virtues of mercy. Historical precedents abound, stretching back to the works of earlier thinkers like Cicero and Socrates. These pre-Stoic philosophers laid the groundwork for the ideas Seneca would later espouse. Cicero, for instance, extolled mercy as a hallmark of wise leadership in his dialogues. He believed that a ruler who showed compassion and clemency was more likely to maintain the loyalty and respect of their subjects. Socrates, too, explored the concept of mercy in his teachings, often through dialogues with his students. He emphasized that a just ruler should govern not only with strength, but also with wisdom and kindness. Indeed, Seneca's essay is a testament to the enduring wisdom of these historical precedents. It provides a practical guide for rulers, emphasizing that mercy is not merely an ideal, but also a crucial tool for effective governance. But how does one reconcile the emotional aspects with the rational principles of Stoicism? For Seneca, emotions are natural and inevitable responses to our circumstances. He argues that a wise ruler should not suppress these emotions, but rather channel them constructively. In De Clementia, Seneca advises Nero to cultivate an understanding that true strength lies not in the absence of emotions, but in their mastery. This insight provides a psychological underpinning for Seneca's arguments on mercy. By recognizing and managing emotions appropriately, a ruler can act with wisdom and justice. This harmony between rational thought and emotional response is what Seneca advocates for in effective governance. Understanding the psychological foundations of mercy offers a deeper appreciation for Seneca's enduring wisdom. Seneca's philosophy posits that mercy is not about sparing those who have already rebelled, but about fostering an environment where rebellion does not take root in the first place. A just ruler, he argued, can preserve order by being merciful before the need for punishment even arises. This strategic use of mercy creates a society where people feel valued and respected, reducing the likelihood of unrest. In contrast, a ruler who relies solely on force can spark resentment and instability, leading to the very rebellions they seek to prevent. Seneca believed that the ultimate goal of a wise ruler is not to maintain power at any cost, but to create a stable and just society. By employing mercy as a means of preserving order, Nero could ensure the long-term harmony and prosperity of the empire. Through De Clementia, Seneca offers enduring wisdom on the strategic importance of mercy in maintaining a just and stable society. Mercy is not merely an act of kindness, but a critical tool for preserving order and preventing chaos. In this light, the lessons of De Clementia resonate deeply with the fundamental principles of Stoic philosophy. Mercy, when used strategically, can be a powerful force for preserving order and ensuring the well-being of all in society. In this work, Seneca emphasizes that, while mercy should be deliberate and rational, it must sometimes take precedence over strict adherence to law. Seneca uses specific examples to illustrate this delicate equilibrium. Consider the scenario where a soldier has committed an offense worthy of capital punishment. Seneca suggests that the ruler should consider not just the crime, but also the soldier's past service and potential for future redemption. This approach allows mercy to be exercised strategically, preserving order while also promoting rehabilitation. Seneca believes that a just ruler must understand the context behind each act of mercy. He advises Nero to think not only about punishing transgressions, but also about how such punishments can cultivate virtue in both the offender and society at large. In another example, Seneca discusses a case where a man has killed his own father. Seneca points out that while this act is undoubtedly heinous, the motive behind it, a desire for justice and retribution for past wrongs, must be taken into account. This nuanced view allows the ruler to temper justice with mercy, acknowledging the complexities of human action. Seneca's perspective underscores the importance of a ruler who can discern when strict adherence to law may be counterproductive. Mercy, in this light, becomes not an indulgence, but a vital tool for preserving societal harmony. Ultimately, the balance between mercy and justice is not about absolutes, but about wise decision-making that considers both individual needs and collective well-being. Mercy, Seneca argued in his treatise De Clementia, is more than just an act of kindness. It is a reflection of a ruler's character and moral integrity. Consider his account of the Roman Emperor Tiberius, who displayed mercy by granting pardons to those accused of treason. It showed that Tiberius could exercise restraint and judgment, qualities essential for a just ruler. Seneca believed that mercy was not about leniency, but about the ruler's capacity to make difficult decisions that benefit both individuals and society as a whole. He argues that the true test of a leader is not in their show of strength, but in their ability to temper it with compassion. Thus, acts of mercy become reflections of the ruler's inner qualities and moral integrity. The lessons of mercy in De Clementia serve as a profound reminder that a ruler's actions are not just isolated incidents, but reflections of their character and moral vision. For Seneca, the inherent value of humanity forms the bedrock of his philosophy. He believed that every human possesses an innate dignity and worth, regardless of their status or actions. Seneca's view on self-control is integral to his philosophy of mercy. He taught that true strength lies in the ability to restrain one's power and emotions. He believed that a ruler's mercy reflects their wisdom in understanding the complexity of human nature. And it demonstrates justice by treating all individuals fairly and compassionately. By highlighting the inherent value of humanity and the importance of self-control, Seneca's teachings on mercy offer a profound guide for any leader. His philosophy underscores that true power lies not in unyielding force, but in the ability to show restraint and compassion. This understanding deepens our appreciation for the wisdom Seneca imparted to Nero in De Clementia. A ruler who shows mercy can diffuse potential rebellions before they erupt. This is because merciful acts demonstrate that the emperor cares about his people and is willing to listen to their grievances. When subjects feel heard and understood, they are less likely to turn against their ruler. Instead of breeding resentment, merciful actions foster a sense of security and loyalty within the empire. Seneca's treatise underlines that a ruler who practices mercy creates an environment where subjects feel valued and protected. This sense of security contributes to the overall stability of the empire, as subjects are less likely to challenge their ruler's authority. When an emperor displays mercy, he sets an example for his subjects to follow. This creates a cycle where both the ruler and the ruled act with compassion and fairness, strengthening the bonds of loyalty and trust within the empire. Through De Clementia, Seneca illustrates the profound impact that mercy can have on both individual subjects and the broader political landscape. Seneca advises that true rulership is about the deliberate and rational exercise of mercy, not weakness or fear. From a Stoic perspective, wisdom and justice are intertwined, and a just ruler must embody these qualities to maintain a stable and harmonious society. He posits that rulers who exercise mercy with wisdom can maintain order without resorting to tyranny or cruelty. Seneca's advice is grounded in the Stoic belief that a ruler's true greatness is not measured by their might, but by their ability to uphold moral obligations. In this context, mercy becomes a tool of empowerment, enabling rulers to navigate challenges with wisdom and foresight. Through this lens, Seneca's Stoic ethics illustrate that true leadership is not about force or intimidation, but about the deliberate and wise application of mercy. This wisdom, passed down through De Clementia, holds the potential to transform a ruler's reign from one of tyranny to one of virtue. For instance, when Emperor Augustus came to power, He inherited a state riddled with political unrest and personal enmities from the civil wars. To preserve order, Augustus showed clemency towards his former adversaries, including Mark Antony's followers. This act of mercy prevented further conflict and laid the groundwork for the Pax Romana, a period of relative peace and stability that lasted over 2 centuries. Seneca advises that mercy should be employed strategically to diffuse potential threats and maintain harmony within society. He argues that a ruler who wields mercy judiciously can transform enemies into allies, thereby strengthening their reign and preserving the peace of the realm. Another notable example is the case of Cicero, who was exiled during the reign of Julius Caesar. After Caesar's assassination, Mark Antony advocated for Cicero's recall to Rome, demonstrating mercy that helped stabilize political tensions and reconcile factions within the Roman elite. Thus, the strategic use of mercy as advocated by Seneca serves not only to maintain stability, but also to uphold justice within society. By employing clemency judiciously, a ruler can transform potential threats into opportunities for reconciliation and peace. The historical examples from Rome demonstrate that mercy is not just an ideal, but a practical tool for effective governance. Seneca's advice in De Clementia continues to hold relevance today, reminding leaders of the enduring value of compassion and wisdom in preserving order and fostering harmony within their realms. Seneca's interpretation of Stoic philosophy is vividly illustrated in his treatise, where he presents mercy not just as a virtue, but as a strategic and necessary element for maintaining a peaceful and well-ordered state. By counseling Nero to wield mercy, Seneca underscores the importance of balance and restraint in exercising power. Moreover, Seneca views mercy as a reflection of the ruler's inner strength and moral integrity. A leader who can exhibit mercy demonstrates self-control, compassion, and an understanding of the complexities of human nature. This perspective aligns with Stoic teachings on the importance of emotional regulation and clear thinking in navigating one's responsibilities. For Seneca, mercy is not simply about showing kindness, it is about exercising judgment that is both wise and just. This judgment reflects a deeper understanding of the human condition and the inherent value of each individual within the ruler's domain. By embodying these Stoic principles, Seneca envisions Nero as a ruler who is not only powerful, but also deeply compassionate and wise. This vision of virtuous leadership is one that seeks to elevate the lives of his subjects through thoughtful governance, rather than simply exercising brute force or indiscriminate punishment. Pietas, or filial piety and devotion to duty, was another key virtue. Seneca emphasized that a ruler's duty included showing mercy towards his subjects, treating them with the same care he would show towards family. Justitia, or justice, was seen as the foundation of a stable society. Seneca argued that mercy was not just an act of compassion, but also an act of justice, a way to balance the scales of power and ensure fair treatment for all. Through these virtues, Seneca's vision of leadership aligns with the best of Roman tradition, advocating for a ruler who leads with wisdom, justice, and care. This harmony between Seneca's ideas and classical Roman virtues underscores his influence on the ideals of rulership in Rome. Imagine a ruler who wields power not through fear, but through wisdom and care, a leader who embodies the best of Roman tradition. As we reflect on the lessons of De Clementia, we are reminded that true power lies not in might, but in mercy, a virtue that has long been held dear by Roman tradition. By embracing the principles of dignitas, pietas, and justitia, we can strive towards a form of leadership that is wise, just, and compassionate. One notable instance is how Emperor Trajan, following Seneca's teachings, handled his own succession plans. Instead of naming an immediate heir who might stir rivalries or unrest, Trajan designated a capable successor only after his own death. Trajan's chosen successor was his adopted son Hadrian, who proved to be an effective ruler and continued the dynastic line without disrupting the political order. This approach ensured a smooth transition of power, preventing potential civil unrest and preserving the continuity of Rome's imperial legacy. Similarly, Emperor Antoninus Pius chose Marcus Aurelius as his successor, demonstrating once again the importance of thoughtful and deliberate planning in imperial succession. Marcus Aurelius's rule was marked by stability and adherence to the principles outlined in De Clementia. By practicing clemency, these rulers ensured that their successors were well prepared and respected, minimizing the risk of power struggles or civil wars that could have torn Rome apart. The practical impact of Seneca's ideas was profound. By adopting a stance of deliberate mercy and compassion in their governance, Roman emperors helped maintain state stability over centuries. Lucius Annaeus Seneca, the renowned Roman Stoic philosopher and author of De Clementia, drew deeply from the principles of Stoicism in crafting his views on mercy. Central to Seneca's philosophy is the concept of sympathia, a belief that all things are interconnected and part of a unified whole. From this perspective, mercy becomes not merely an act of kindness, but a recognition of our shared fate. If we harm one, we harm all. Another crucial principle for Seneca is oikeiosis, the idea that all humans have a natural inclination towards justice and fairness. According to this notion, rulers who exhibit mercy are not just displaying kindness, but are acting in accordance with the inherent human nature that seeks balance and harmony. By embracing mercy, rulers align themselves with these fundamental Stoic principles, fostering a sense of unity and justice within their realms. This philosophy goes beyond political strategy. It is a deeply rooted moral virtue that guides the actions of virtuous leaders. But Seneca's influence on Roman imperial philosophy extends far beyond his treatise De Clementia. His Stoic principles permeated numerous philosophical texts and shaped the governance of emperors long after Nero. Take, for instance, Seneca's essay on anger, written around the same time as De Clementia. Here, he delves into the destructive nature of anger and its impact on rulership. He argues that a leader's temper is not merely a personal flaw, but an impediment to effective governance. This insight was not lost on the emperors who followed Nero. Marcus Aurelius, known for his philosophical bent, frequently reflected on Seneca's teachings in his own writings, including his personal journal, Meditations. Aurelius saw Stoic philosophy as a guide to navigating the complexities of power and leadership. He believed that a ruler must cultivate inner tranquility to make sound decisions and maintain justice. Seneca's ideas also resonated with the philosophical inclinations of Emperor Hadrian, who sought to rule with wisdom and restraint. Hadrian's emphasis on mercy and compassion in governance was deeply influenced by Seneca's teachings. The echoes of De Clementia can be seen in Hadrian's policies, which often prioritized the well-being of his subjects over rigid adherence to law. But perhaps the most striking testament to Seneca's enduring influence is found in the works of Epictetus, another prominent Stoic philosopher. Epictetus, a former slave, drew on Seneca's teachings to advocate for a more humane approach to power and governance. His writings emphasized the moral responsibility of leaders to act with virtue and kindness. The Roman judicial system, steeped in tradition and often harsh penalties, began to see a shift under the influence of such Stoic teachings. Judges and magistrates, once inclined towards severe sentencing, found themselves reconsidering their approaches in light of Seneca's arguments. Seneca's persuasive rhetoric, couched in the language of wisdom and moral duty, resonated with those tasked with upholding justice. His teachings promoted a more merciful approach to sentencing, recognizing that harsh punishments did not always lead to a just society. Cases that might have ended with severe punishment began to see more lenient outcomes as judges sought to balance justice with compassion. The enduring influence of his ideas underscores the power of wisdom and virtue in shaping a just society. In conclusion, The lessons of mercy and virtuous rulership outlined in Seneca's De Clementia underscore the profound impact that Stoic philosophy can have on both personal and political spheres. As we delve deeper into these principles, we realize that clemency is not just a virtue, but a cornerstone of peaceful and just governance. It deepens our understanding of the practical applications of Stoicism in shaping a harmonious society. As we reflect on these teachings, it becomes clear that the path to a just and harmonious society begins with individual virtue, a lesson as relevant today as it was in ancient Rome.